The Galactic Forum stood like a crown in space, orbiting the white-blue sun of Foros 9. Its structure was massive, a ring of silver towers and glowing domes, filled with voices from across 12 star systems. For hundreds of years, it had been a place of unity, a place where problems were solved with words, not weapons. But today, one chair was empty. The human seat. Ambassadors, envoys, and watchers whispered through the forum halls. The chair had been empty for 30 days. No message, no warning, no sign. Chancellor Virex Thol, tall and robed in white and gold, raised a hand to silence the noise. "Order," he said calmly, though his voice echoed with power. "Let us not jump to fear. Humans are unpredictable. Perhaps they need time." Reflection. A delegate from the Xeric system stood. Earth was the loudest voice in this room. Now they are silent. That is not reflection, Chancellor. That is disappearance. Others nodded. Some hissed in agreement. The silence of Earth made the galaxy uneasy. For decades, humans had helped build treaties, stop wars, share knowledge. Without them, something felt wrong. Virex smiled softly. "We will send an envoy. Let us not panic. The forum stands strong." But deep in his private quarters, Virex wasn't calm at all. He tapped on a screen, pulling up a hidden file. Project Silence. The file was locked. Only his signature could open it. His smile faded. "They weren't supposed to notice so soon," he muttered. Far away on the edge of the Sol system, a small ship drifted quietly above a broken moon base. Inside, Ilara Miles sat alone. Once, she was Earth's top diplomat. Smart, steady, brave. But after the last mission, she left. She couldn't trust the forum anymore. Too many secrets. Too much power. She looked tired. Her dark hair was pulled back, her uniform worn. Her only companion was silence, until a message blinked on her screen. Encrypted transmission. Unknown source. Message. They didn't leave. They were erased. Ilara stared at the words. Her heart beat faster. Her hands trembled. She whispered, "What happened to Earth?" She looked out at the stars. The forum. The systems. Whatever the truth was, it was buried deep, and she would dig it up, no matter what it cost her. Ilara Miles didn't waste time. The moment she read the mysterious message, she packed up her gear and prepared her old ship, the Seraph. It wasn't fast, and it wasn't pretty, but it still worked. She punched in coordinates for the forum, a place she once called home. "I told myself I'd never go back," she muttered. But silence doesn't lie. 3 days later, the Seraph reached the Foros 9 system. She stayed low, beneath radar, and entered through the old maintenance tunnels beneath the forum's outer shell. Few remembered they were there, but Ilara did. Inside the shadows of the forum, nothing had changed. The corridors still gleamed with silver light. Tall windows still showed stars swirling outside, and the people still wore the same fake smiles, the same expensive robes. But the mood was different. Tense. Quiet. Ilara moved carefully, her hood up, her ID badge forged. If anyone recognized her, she'd be arrested, or worse. She met Kaller near the central tower. He was a Tayari, a four-eyed alien with soft green skin and long fingers built for machines. Once, he had served as Earth's tech advisor. Now, he fixed broken drones to survive. "Ilara," he said in a whisper. "Is it really you?" "In the flesh," she said. "I need your help." He looked around nervously. "You shouldn't be here. The forum has eyes everywhere." "They erased Earth," she said. "I need proof." Kaler sighed, then nodded. "Follow me." They slipped into a dark server room behind the Tower of Records. It hummed with power. Screens blinked with data in hundreds of languages. Kaler typed fast. His fingers danced across the controls. "This is deep-level access," he said. "Only 3 people have clearance this high. One of them is Virex. Files scrolled across the screen. Most were harmless. Reports, votes, economic records. Then Kohler stopped. "There," he said. "Look at this." A file named Project Silent Sea appeared. It was locked, coded in a way that only top leadership could read. But one line was visible. Human delegation. Removed by directive of the Forum High Council. Removed. Ilara whispered. "That's not a retreat. That's an order." Kohler nodded slowly. They were forced out. But why? Suddenly, a red alert flashed on the screen. Unauthorized access detected. Security en route. "We have to move," Kohler said. They grabbed a data chip and ran. Lights flashed. Doors sealed behind them. Ilara's mind raced. They lied to everyone. The Forum didn't lose Earth. They buried it. Back in the shadows, Ilara caught her breath. The data chip burned in her hand. She didn't have all the answers. Not yet. But she had the first piece, and the galaxy deserved to know. Ilara stared out the window of the Seraph as it left the Forum behind. Her hands were tight on the controls. Kohler sat beside her, the data chip still clutched in his long fingers. "They removed Earth," she said softly. "But they didn't just kick us out of the Forum. They wiped everything." Kohler nodded. "The human files in the Forum archives are gone. Even the star maps have missing sectors." Ilara's jaw tightened. "Then we go where the maps say nothing." They headed to Mars first. Once, it was humanity's pride. The first great colony beyond Earth. But now, it was quiet. Too quiet. As the Seraph landed, red dust swirled through abandoned towers. Buildings stood tall, but empty. Doors were sealed. Power lines hung dead. Ilara and Kohler stepped out in full suits. No one came to greet them. "Where is everyone?" Kohler asked. Ilara scanned the area. The city was alive just 2 years ago. Now, it's like they vanished. Inside the old council dome, they found signs of a fast evacuation. Meals left on tables. Screens still blinking. Files half deleted. Kohler checked the system logs. The last ship left 17 months ago. No destination listed. 17 months, Ilara said, right when Earth went dark. Next, they flew to Europa Station. It was hidden under the ice of Jupiter's moon. It should have been bustling with scientists, engineers, and explorers. It wasn't. Lights flickered. Systems ran on backup power. The halls were covered in frost. In the main lab, they found him, the only living soul left. Dr. Orlin Wess, an old man with pale skin and sharp eyes. He wore a worn-out lab coat and sat beside a broken terminal. When he saw Ilara, he stared for a long moment. Then he smiled. "I knew someone would come," he said weakly. "They didn't get all of us." "What happened here?" Ilara asked. He looked at her, eyes tired but clear. "We found something. On Haven 6. Ilara frowned. "The deep space colony." Orlin nodded. "A prototype. An engine. Human-made. It let us travel across systems without fuel, without cost. It could have changed everything." Kohler's eyes widened. Zero-cost interstellar travel. That would destroy the Forum's control over trade and movement. Orlin coughed. "We planned to present it. Open it to all systems. But someone warned the Forum. They acted fast. First, they shut us down. Then they made us disappear. They erased humanity," Ilara said. Orlin looked at her. "Go to Haven 6. The engine is still there. If you want the truth, that's where you'll find it." Later, back on the Seraph, Ilara watched Europa shrink behind them. "They didn't fear us," she said. "They feared what we found." Kohler set a course. Haven 6 is deep in uncharted space. If they find us out there, we're on our own. Ilara nodded. "Good. That means we're getting close." The stars stretched ahead. Answers waited in the dark. The Seraph pushed through deep space, heading for Haven 6, the last known location of the prototype engine that had changed everything. The stars here looked colder, farther apart. No traffic. No trade ships. No patrols. It was the dead zone. Space, the forum said, was unstable and off-limits. Ilara sat in the cockpit, watching the scanners. Her eyes were sharp, her fingers steady. Kalur was quiet beside her, reviewing the data chip they had stolen from the forum. The forum's technology is old, he said, but their tracking systems are fast. If they picked up our jump to this sector, they'll send someone, Ilara said. I'm counting on it. She wasn't wrong. As the Seraph reached Haven 6, a warning alarm flashed. Incoming vessel, Kalur said. Stealth class. No ID. It's following us. Ilara narrowed her eyes. They found us. The ship landed quickly, hiding beneath a frozen ridge. Haven 6 looked lifeless. Gray structures buried in ice and dust, the surface cracked from neglect. They moved fast through the old outpost. It was cold, silent. Inside the main dome, they found what they were looking for, the engine, a small dark sphere with glowing veins of light. It pulsed slowly, like it was alive. Kalur gasped. This could change everything. Ilara touched the surface gently. This is what got Earth erased. Behind them, footsteps. They turned. 3 armed figures stepped into the room. Black armor, no flags, no words. Assassins. Ilara ducked as a shot fired. She pulled Kalur behind a metal pillar. They're not here to ask questions, he said. No, Ilara replied. They're here to end this. She pulled out her sidearm. It wasn't much, but it would have to do. They fought through the hallways, dodging bullets and shadows. Ilara moved with calm precision. Kalur used nearby panels to trigger power surges and block doors. They escaped through a side hatch and ran to the Seraph. As they lifted off, 2 more ships appeared in the sky. Ilara didn't hesitate. She pushed the stolen coordinates from the engine core into their nav system. Hold on, she shouted. A flash of white light, and the Seraph jumped. They reappeared minutes later, far beyond any known sector. Silence. Peace. Ilara looked at the readings. We just traveled 10 light years in seconds, she said. Kalur stared at the engine core, now glowing brighter. This proves it. It works. Ilara stood up. We're not hiding anymore. We're going back to the forum. And we're telling the galaxy everything. Kalur hesitated. They'll try to stop us again. They can try, she said. But this time, we're ready. The Seraph moved through space like a ghost, silent and unseen. Ilara sat in the pilot's seat, staring ahead at the growing image of the Galactic Forum. It floated like a crown of steel and glass, bright against the stars. We only have one chance, she said. Kalur sat beside her, typing quickly into a portable console. The core data is ready. Once we plug in, the entire forum will see it. All systems, all species. Ilara nodded. We show them the truth, the engine, the cover-up, and the forced removal of Earth. Kalur paused. And what if they don't believe us? They will, Ilara said. The evidence speaks for itself. They docked quietly, using an old clearance code from Ilara's diplomatic days. The ship went unnoticed, hidden in a maintenance bay. From there, they moved fast through the service corridors. The forum was in full session. Hundreds of delegates filled the grand chamber, their voices loud, their faces tense. The galaxy was already feeling the weight of Earth's absence. Trade was slowing. Minor conflicts were rising. Everyone knew something was wrong. They just didn't know what. Not yet. Ilara and Kalur reached the broadcast core above the chamber. Kalur opened a panel and connected the data chip. Ready, he said. Once you speak, every system will hear you. No one can block it. Ilara took a breath and stepped forward. A small camera faced her. The light turned green. She began to speak. "This is Commander Ilara Miles, former human ambassador to the Galactic Forum." Voices in the chamber fell quiet. Heads turned. Screens across the galaxy lit up. "You've all wondered why Earth went silent, why humanity disappeared. I'm here to tell you the truth." She showed the files. The video of the secret meeting where the Forum High Council voted to remove Earth. The footage of the prototype engine, moving the ship across space with no fuel, no gates, and the evidence that the Forum covered it up, fearing the collapse of their power. They didn't just silence Earth. They erased us, because we found something that could set every system free. Gasps, shouts. Chaos broke out in the chamber. Some delegates stood, others tried to deny it, but the proof was clear. Virex Thul rose from his seat. He was calm, but his voice was sharp. "This is treason," he said. "These lies endanger the peace we've built." Ilara stepped onto the floor of the chamber, walking straight toward him. "They're not lies," she said. "You feared change. You feared freedom. And you used fear to control this galaxy." Virex stared at her, unmoving. "Without order, there is war." "No," Ilara replied. "Without truth, there is slavery." Silence followed. The delegates looked at each other. The room was no longer under Virex's control. Kaler sent one last signal, the engine design, to every public channel in the galaxy. The knowledge was free now. The chamber of the Galactic Forum was silent. Ilara stood at the center, calm and steady. Around her, delegates from across the galaxy sat in shock. Screens still showed the footage. Earth's erasure. The working prototype. The truth. Virex Thul remained standing, but his voice had lost its power. "You don't understand what you've done," he said to Ilara. "The systems need control. Order keeps us alive." Ilara looked him in the eye. "Order without truth is a lie. You hid knowledge. You erased a planet. That's not peace. That's fear." One by one, delegates rose from their seats. The Zirak ambassador stepped forward. "I vote to suspend Chancellor Virex's authority, pending full investigation." The hall echoed with more voices. "We second it. We demand new leadership." Kaler, watching from the upper deck, smiled. "It's working." Security arrived and escorted Virex out. He didn't fight. He only glared at Ilara as he passed. "You've started something that can't be stopped," he said. "I know," Ilara replied. "Good." Within hours, the Forum issued a public statement. The truth was confirmed. Earth's seat was restored. New leadership was chosen. A temporary alliance formed to manage the shift in power. But the galaxy was already changing. Across systems, people began to build the engine. The design spread fast. Ships moved freely. Trade routes opened. Colonies once forgotten reconnected. And humanity returned, not to rule, but to help rebuild. A week later, Ilara stood by a tall window in the Forum's east wing. Below, workers hung a new banner beside the others. Earth's flag flew again. Kaler walked in, holding 2 mugs of hot tea. "You could take a seat on the council now," he said. "They'd welcome you." Ilara shook her head, smiling slightly. "I didn't come to take power. I came to give it back." He nodded. "So, what now?" She looked out at the stars. "Now we help others find their voice, and we protect the truth. Always." As the sun of Foros 9 rose outside the window, a new day began for the galaxy, one built on freedom, not fear.